Who had the best haircut? It certainly wasn't me. Hi, I'm Matt Le Tissier, and this is the EFL QFQ. Who was your biggest inspiration in football? That's quite an easy one for me. As a boy growing up, I was a Spurs fan and obsessed with watching Glenn Hoddle play football. He was my inspiration to be a footballer. Sightseeing or sunbathing? Definitely sunbathing. Who was the toughest player you played with? When I was a young boy in the Southampton team, we had a guy coming towards the end of his career, but he was like our minder in the team. He would look after all the young boys, and he was a legend in the Liverpool team in the 1970s. European Cup winner, Jimmy Case. Night in or night out? I like a bit of both, and it depends where the night out is as to whether or not I would choose it. If it's in the casino playing a bit of Texas Hold'em poker, probably night out. But I do like a night in with a takeaway and a decent film. Who was the best manager you played under? Well, I played under 9 at Southampton, and unquestionably for me is a man who's sadly no longer with us because he passed away a few years ago now, and that was the late great Alan Ball. Tea or coffee? I'm not a huge fan of either. I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. I have the occasional cup of tea, but I'm a cold drinker. Who was the biggest joker in the dressing room? We had a few down the years. I'd say probably the one I found the most entertaining, I'm gonna say Ian Dowie. I think Ian was very, very charismatic, huge personality in the changing room, and the place was a livelier place with him in it. Messi or Ronaldo? The eternal question that will be going on forever and a day. I think we should be blessed that we are around to see both of these guys in the same era. I prefer watching Messi play, if I'm honest. Who had the best haircut? It certainly wasn't me, that's for sure. I mean, I played in the late 80s where there were some proper dodgy haircuts around. In fact, my hero probably had one of them back in the day, but I think Chris Waddle's haircut was something to behold in the late 80s, and I think that's something that should never ever be forgotten. Retirement or training? As much as I wasn't a huge fan of pre-season training, I would much prefer to be in a physical state to be able to play football properly than actually be in retirement. So yeah, I'd take the training. Who had the best superstition before a match? I think the strangest one I saw was I played in the Southampton team in my early career with a mental goalkeeper called John Burridge. The man was absolutely crazy, but he would sit in the medical room 7 or 8 minutes before kick-off, just before we were about to go out, with headphones on, and I always thought he might be listening to a little bit of music and things, but the boys stole the tape of what he was listening to actually find out what it was, and it was a psychologist talking to John Burridge in his own headphones, telling John Burridge just how good he was, that he was England's #1 goalkeeper, and that Peter Shilton was an imposter and he was better than him. True story, honestly, mental. Who was the most skillful player you played with? That's a really good question. I would say I really liked playing alongside Rodney Wallace, and I would say Marian Pahars was one of the most skillful I played with, and Al Berkovic, he was pretty good as well. Sweets or chocolate? Am I allowed to have both? No, I would probably take chocolate over sweets. Playing or coaching? Not a huge coaching fan. Playing would take preference for me every day of the week. Team bath or ice bath? Yeah, ice baths only came in towards the back end of my career, fortunately, because I did not like an ice bath. So, team bath for me. What is the best thing about football? The best thing about football is scoring a goal and watching your fans erupt with joy when you've just done it. No better feeling. And that was the EFL QFQ with Matt Le Tissier.